Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
There has been an inquiry into tolling for motorists for our fair city, and you know what they found?
Tell me.
It's reasonable and fair. No, it's convoluted and unfair.
Oh, duh. How much did we spend on that inquiry?
Well, did you see the pamphlets they made? Very good brochures. Very, hardbound.
We should be in the brochure business.
It's not cheap. Under the new system, so there's good and bad news. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Tell me, you decide.
Under the new system, motorists would be charged per kilometre.
So would be. This isn't will be. This is a proposal.
And that charge would reduce for each additional kilometre travelled. It's interesting you say that because it seems to me that nothing is written in stone. Chris Minnsy said before he was elected, putting two-way tolling on the Harbour Bridge, that's just unthinkable. He was throwing that at the Liberal government. Now that seems that it's going to be a thing.
So start again. What are we going to, what is on the cards
well, no,
to happen?
I don't need to start again. I just said it.
Oh.
Well, I just told you.
About the kilometres.
So under the new system, motorists would be charged per kilometre, but that charge would reduce for each kilometre travelled. So the people, if you're driving from the west to Sydney, you're paying a fair bit of money. Like say you're going from Campbelltown to the city, to the CBD, that's going to cost you $13 one way.
Yeah.
It's $26 return, which is extraordinary.
Is what you're paying now.
That's what you're paying now.
Yes.
So under the new system, it would be $5 cheaper. So the harbour, my beef with the Harbour Bridge thing is the fact that we now moved to North Sydney, so I do cross the bridge twice. But the other thing, in living memory, the Harbour Bridge was always just one-way tolling. So ever since it was constructed,
can you explain to me, though, so to compensate for the drop of revenue that's going to happen by halving those tolls, people who use the bridge are going to have theirs doubled.
So you, me, everyone, Gem Y, Rye, we're all going to have to pay. And I have no beef with that because, quite frankly, the tolls in this city
outrageous
are mental. And if you're driving from the west to here every day, it's costing you
a fortune.
But sentimentally, I always think of the Harbour Bridge, it was just a one-way tolling
Remember
deal.
There was a basket and you'd throw 20 cents in? 5 cents initially.
Well, motorcycles used to be cheaper. There used to be a day when they're cheaper. I still don't know how a motorcycle's the same price as a Toyota Land Cruiser with a trailer. That's something that I wish someone could explain to me. The other thing is, what it is, it's our successive governments privatising everything. What's wrong with our governments that we are the most tolled city in the world?
Is it true that we can't afford those roads without it?
No, we can afford it. Instead of spending money on stupid stuff like
a brochure,
pride colours and stuff like that, how about we just work on our infrastructure? Yeah, stupid brochures, artist impressions of stuff.
But see, the money that goes to, as you say, your pride flags, that money is allocated. I know, but that money is allocated differently. The more I see this, the more you realise that money isn't going to go from that into the tolls.
Infrastructure should be a priority. We had a premier for many years who didn't drive a car, Bob Carr. And he was one that cocked up the
monorail.
No, that was Nick Griner's baby. He was Liberal. The M2, remember the M2? It was only they cheaped out on the 2 lanes there. They only made it 2 lanes each way. And people said, no, well, you've got to make that thing 3 lanes, where we used to be. Mm-hmm. So they did. They went and had to widen it. These guys just have no vision. Bradfield, when he built the Harbour Bridge, in the Depression, mind you, this 8-lane bridge that still stands to this day and still handles the traffic. I know that we have the tunnel as well. But having said that, at the time, everyone's going, what are you building this crazy bridge for? Because it was like a horse and a dray and an old banger going across the thing. No one would have imagined what we have now. I'm just saying to these government guys, we are a city that loves cars. We are a city that needs cars, and they should be factored into. Instead of mucking around with stupid push bikes and all the other junk, how about we focus on the car? You're not going to get people out of their cars.
Well, not while our public transport isn't efficient enough.
Yeah, and I love catching public transport where it's available, but there's a lot of places in Western Sydney you just can't can't get a bus or a train to for anything.
I know. Well, there's good, as you say, there's good news and bad news. For some people it's good news, for others it'll be bad news.
But I think all around.
For the brochure business, it's great news.
You're in the brochure business. If you're in the brochure business or the artist impression business, you're going to be okay.